Nothing beats a good horror story on a Halloween night, and luckily, the earth is so full of unexplained mysteries even science can't solve until now. From murders on luxury cruise ships, spirits wandering the halls of British castles, to the wailings of unembodied prisoners on mental asylums and family murders. There are stories that seem impossible to outright believe, but if you verify with research, they are actually true. But even if you're not a fan of paranormal activities, the stories behind these places will surely fascinate your curiosity with its unexpected plot twists paired with true-to-life histories. Here are the 10 most haunted places in the world you won't visit on the night of October 31st or probably in your lifetime. Number 10. The Amityville House. The house became popular when it was featured in one of the top grossing horror films in 2005, The Amityville Horror. It is located at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York, USA. This place has been a favorite subject of psychological thriller films after 23-year-old Ronald DeFeo Jr. killed his parents and 4 siblings on November 14, 1974 for unexplained reasons. The legend started to unfold when George and Kathy Lutz moved into the house a little over 1 year after the gruesome murder took place. The 4,000 square meter house features a waterfront access, heated swimming pool, a boat house, and a very large lawn. George and Kath started to notice strange things a few days after moving in, such as banging noises, untraceable footsteps at 3 a.m., mysterious and strong odors, and even a green jello-like liquid leaking from the walls. Aside from these, George also became sick more frequently, lost weight in a short amount of time, and had constant nightmares. After the disturbing events happened, the Lutzes finally decided to temporarily leave the house. Little did they know, it was their last night in that house. They can still recall the happenings in the house, but the hardest part of witnessing paranormal events like they did is that most people are reluctant to believe them. Number 9. Eastern State Penitentiary. Built in the 1800s with castle-like walls and tall watchtowers, the Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania was the first prison to offer solitary confinement. Inmates are forced to live alone, eat alone, and even exercise alone in their small individual yards. When an inmate is asked to leave his cell, he is covered with a hood to prevent seeing others while under confinement. Although it was later abandoned due to overcrowding, Eastern State is known as one of the most mentally disturbing penitentiaries to ever exist. The solitary confinement has caused mental illness to prisoners and was discontinued in early 1970. To date, there are still rumors of strange happenings around the stone penitentiary, such as footsteps in the yard, eerie noises, lonely wails, and sound of someone pacing in the cells on dark corridors. Cell Block 12 is specifically known for its disembodied laughter. It has also been rumored that one guard tower appears in some nights, with a shadowy figure keeping watch on the empty cells. Today, it's converted as a museum and a Halloween haunted house. Number 8. The Edinburgh Castle in Scotland. The Edinburgh Castle is one of Scotland's most haunted sites, backing its 900 years of slavery, executions, and surprise attacks. It was originally built as a military fortress in the early 12th century and was once reigned by Duke Alexander Stewart of Albany, who stabbed his guards to death and then burned their bodies for no apparent reason. Other known killings were Lady Janet Douglas of Glamis, burned at the stake after being accused of witchcraft, and a piper who once wandered around the underground passage and never returned. In 2001, a large group of paranormal experts gathered to conduct what is known today as the largest paranormal investigation in all of history. The goal is to investigate the ghostly happenings around the castle. There were a team of 9 researchers with over 200 members who explored every chamber of the castle that were rumored to be haunted. 51% of the participants in haunted areas reported that there were strange happenings, such as sudden drop in temperature, shadowy figures, helpless cries, and a feeling of something or someone tugging your clothes. Aside from public executions and surprise killings on this castle, there's also an underground hideout in which the victims of the Black Plague were quarantined, forgotten, and left to die. Number 7. Gettysburg Battlefield. It is believed that the battlefield of Gettysburg is one of the most brutal and bloodiest in the history of America. Around 50,000 young men were killed and suffered a violent death. According to locals, many of these young men cannot accept their untimely fate. That is why they believe the site is haunted today. These restless souls wander around the field of Pennsylvania on the lookout for their lost comrades and rifles, not aware that the battle has already ended. Number 6. The Myrtles Plantation. Built in 1796 by General David Bradford, this huge hectare plantation is known as one of America's most haunted places. Eerie sound of helpless wails and a sudden drop in the temperature within the area is a normal thing every day. According to locals, the place has witnessed as much as 10 murders before it was temporarily closed. One of the most popular tales revolves around the story of a former slave, Chloe, who had her ear chopped off for eavesdropping on a secret conversation. In turn, she allegedly poisoned the birthday cake of her master's daughters, whose spirits were also believed to linger around the vicinity. The master ordered to hang Chloe by her fellow slaves, and her restless soul is believed to stay in the plantation today. Number 5. The Queen Mary in Long Beach, California. Also dubbed as the Grey Ghost today, the Queen Mary was once a luxury ocean liner way back 1967. It was purchased by the city of Long Beach and was later converted into a cruise ship hotel with near 5-star amenities. Today, it became a popular tourist attraction. A guided tour on the ship starts at $109 and would normally include a full board meal and a guided walk around the ship's paranormal hotspots. There were reportedly ghost hunting in the ship, such as a sailor who suffered his untimely death in the engine room, a white lady, and several children who drowned in the ship's own pool. Number 4. The Tower of London. Built in the 11th century by William the Conqueror, the Tower of London was originally a political prison and a place of public execution. It has been viewed as the most haunted building in the British Isles. There were ghost apparitions through the fortress that are believed to be the wife of Henry VII, who was beheaded in 1536 for treason. There were also known sightings spotted by a guardsman on February 12, 1957, that was thought to be Lady Jane Grey, who was unjustly executed after being viewed as a threat to the crown. The first ghost allegedly spotted in the tower was Sir Thomas Becket, an archbishop in Canterbury who was murdered in 1170. Number 3. The Whaley House. From the outside, the Whaley House might just be a normal 2-story building, but even government skeptics consider that this house from San Diego's Old Town neighborhood houses had shown unexplained ghost sightings. In fact, the U.S. Commerce Department classified the house as haunted in the 1960s. It is also dubbed as America's most supernatural home from paranormal experts, according to the Travel Channel. The first known ghost sighting was the unembodied appearance of Yankee Jim Robinson, who was hanged on the house in 1852. When the Whaley House was built by James Whaley, it's used as a commercial store, a granary, and a courthouse. The first few years were normal until in 1857, James Whaley claimed to hear Robinson murmuring loudly through the halls. Today, Whaley and his wife are believed to still inhabit the house, diffusing strong odor of perfume and cigar smoke when you make an entrance to the house. There were also reported sightings of a young girl in long dress reclining in the dining room, wearing a horrifying smile at the window. Number 2. The White House. The White House isn't just known as the home of the American president in power. There are also haunting stories lurking behind its white facade. There were verified rumors that some former inhabitants of the White House cannot accept their fate of no longer being in power, that they chose to still lurk around the American residents even after their deaths. They were allegedly ghosts of Abigail Adams, who did laundry in the East Room, and Dolly Madison's spirit through the Rose Garden. What's even more terrifying is the alleged apparition of Honest Abe in the Lincoln bedroom. The White House residents also reported several visits from Honest Abe in his former sleeping room. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel, The Top 10 Picks. Be sure to click that notification bell so that you will be notified whenever we have a new post. Number 1. The Winchester House. The Winchester House is a mansion in San Jose, California that has been certified by the U.S. Department of Commerce as haunted. Aside from this fact, it is also the spookiest construction project of a personal residence in history. The house is owned by Sarah Winchester, and mysteries on the house started to unfold when her husband, a rifle maker's son, and her child died. Sarah consulted a paranormal investigation on the sudden death of her loved ones. According to the paranormal seers, their family had been killed by the ghost who died from the bullets of her family's guns. They suggested that the only way to mollify these spirits is the eternal construction of the house, which Sarah did in fear of her life. Sarah ordered workmen to work every hour of every day straight for 38 years without stopping even one day. The 160-room real estate today is built with no blueprint, and its architecture is truly bizarre. Some mysterious features of the house are staircases to nowhere, doors that either directly point to brick walls or a 10-feet drop when opened. There are also windows designed like an etched glass spiderweb motif that looks really creepy for a normal person. Do you agree on our list? Or is there something you think that should be added? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to suggest what top 10 picks should we cover next.